That's what they're doing. So that's what HBO Max announced. So the next part. What and whom does this affect? This is the part that we're going to be talking about probably the longest, probably the biggest. It's no stretch of the imagination that this actually kind of goes without saying. This affects movie theaters the most. Knee-jerk reaction. Like, this is when you hear that all of these movies are, I mean, yeah, they're still coming out in theaters, but to say that this is a tectonic shift, like this is the meteor hitting the earth and dinosaurs being obliterated, right? This is that same level. Like this is equivalent to scientists looking into the sky and saying, "Hey, there's a meteor coming. It hasn't hit yet. There's a meteor coming and it's going to hit the earth and everything's about to change," right? So, okay. So when we say the death of movie theaters, are movie theaters actually going to die? No. Movie theaters will not completely go away. A few months ago, we were talking about this on the show with Jonathan Pitts. Jonathan Pitts is, he was the co-creator of the Chicago Improv Festival. I think he was the creator of the Chicago Improv Festival, co-producer of it for the past 20 years, right? One of the things that Jonathan had pointed out is that we are social creatures. We are social beings. We need group experiences. This is what it means. This is what it looks like to be human, to have these feelings and emotions that, we need to commiserate in a group. Like there's a reason that, for a wedding, you invite all of your friends and family. For a funeral, all friends and family come together. Social Christmas parties, birthday parties, just because. Like, people throw dinner parties just because. So we are social creatures. I don't think that the movie theater going experience is going to completely die out. It will be dramatically reduced. I believe that it will be dramatically reduced in the same way that vinyl. And, I've heard other people kind of comparing the movie theater going experience to kind of like vinyl dying out. Vinyl has not completely died out. Vinyl is still going. In fact, in a lot of places, vinyl is outselling compact discs. Why would anybody buy a CD anymore? The whole purpose of having a CD is to get your music digitally. That's the purpose of having a CD. So when you can just download the MP3, when you can go to iTunes or Spotify or whatever, however you stream your music, like that's the CD experience. You cue it up instantaneously. There's nothing to rewind. There's no tape. There's nothing to get scratched. It doesn't physically exist. It digitally exists, but it doesn't physically exist, right? So vinyl has been one of those markets of this is for the collectors. This is for the true music fan, right? A former roommate of mine, Travis Lovelace. Oh, I love Travis. What a lovely, wonderful human being. He was a vinyl collector. He had his record player or his vinyl player. I don't know what they called him. He had a record player, and he would collect vinyls and, just play them. And, when you listen to a vinyl, as opposed to listening to the digital experience of, streaming or CD or whatever, it is a different experience. Just the same way that streaming a movie off of HBO Max and going to the movie theater is a even more dramatic difference of an experience, right? So I don't think, in fact, I'm confident movie theaters will not completely go away. They will be reduced. they will dramatically be reduced, but I don't think that they will ever fully, completely go away. And in fact, now, like, I've always dreamed of owning my own theater. It's, being a live theater as a comedian, as an improviser, I've always wanted to have my own improv club. But now, in the day and age that Warner Media has announced that their entire 2021 film catalog, or not film catalog, their releases are coming out on HBO Max on the same day that they're coming out in the theatrical experience. Knowing that movie theaters will eventually go away, not completely, it kind of makes me want to own my own movie theater, Kind of makes me want to own my own movie theater. Now I'm getting these images I'm conjuring these pictures of being that old curmudgeon. Like, I will be the ghost in the one movie theater in town that everybody thought was abandoned. And then you go into the movie theater and, ooh, I'm the ghost that plays movies for. Like, I want to be that guy. Anyway. So movie theaters will not go away completely. We're social creatures. We need to have group experiences together. Like this. Oh man, the Ziegfeld Theater. Before the Ziegfeld closed, they used to show like old timey movies, like movies from the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, like up on the big screen. And if you never had the opportunity to go to the Ziegfeld Theater, my goodness, what an experience. It's a very different experience from going to the AMC Dolby Theater. Very different experience. They have like the hard, rigid chairs where, just jam-pack people in. It's huge. It was huge. That theater was enormous. It easily held maybe, 1,000 people. It was massive. Completely massive. And I loved it. And the screen was ginormous. And it was just, it was great. It was wonderful. It was fun. So, yeah. My belief, movie theaters will not go away completely. So, who else is, like, okay, so what are the other domino effects? The way things currently are, when a movie is released, when I say currently, I mean like before the pandemic, the way things have been going, when a movie comes out in the theaters, the movie theater chain and the studio come up with a deal as to who takes what percentage of the box office, right? And usually because, historically, movie theaters have primarily earned their money, their profit, their money-making things from the concessions, like popcorn and hot dogs and soda and, all that stuff. That's where the theater makes their money. So they take a smaller cut of the movie, of box office sales, right? Of ticket sales. So, and every movie is different. Every movie is different. So you have an Avengers Endgame, right? Let's use that as and there's another, we'll get into that hullabaloo in a little bit. But let's just say that, you have an Avengers Endgame. Everybody knew that Avengers Endgame was going to make a butt ton of money. Everybody knew this, right? So the movie theater, it's more advantageous for the movie theaters to negotiate, we want a higher percentage of the box office. You guys are going to be earning a ton of money off of this movie, and we're going to get just a teeny tiny little small percentage. So we want a bigger take, right? We want 40%. We want 40% of the box office. Now you get a smaller film, let's go ahead and use The Invisible Man as with Kate Moss as an example. So Invisible Man is about to come out. Nobody really knows how well or how poor it's going to be. The production budget of The Invisible Man was $7 million, so it's very low, like a very low cost movie. It ended up making a ton of money, but they didn't know that at the time. That wasn't a foregone conclusion. You can't look at The Invisible Man with Kate Moss and say, oh, everybody's going to love this movie, so we want 40% of the box office. Chances are very likely that the movie theaters that showed The Invisible Man only took maybe a 10% take, right? They only took a 10% take of the box office, plus concessions, So with HBO Max dropping all of their movies onto streaming, the movie theaters are probably going to take a higher percentage of the box office. Probably, because they need to, because less people are going to go to the movie theaters. Here's another thing. Every movie that is dropped, let's just take Wonder Woman 1984, and the same model is applicable to every other film that they drop every 3 weeks, right? So with Wonder Woman, it's only going to be in theaters for 31 days. It's only going to be on streaming for 31 days. As it comes out in theaters, it will complete its theatrical run. Whether it's going to be 16 weeks, whether it's going to be 20 weeks, maybe it'll be 10 weeks. However long that theatrical run is, it's going to complete its theatrical run. And then, sometime after that, Warner Media and whoever I guess they're the distributor, but whoever the production company is, which in this case would be Warner Brothers, they get to cut a deal with others or themselves when it's going to come out on VOD. Is it going to come back out again on HBO Max? Nobody knows. I mean, probably, but it'll probably be a little while before that happens, right? So box office ticket sales are going to suffer dramatically. Movie theater, there will be certain chains that go under. I'm looking at you, AMC. AMC Theaters is the largest theater chain, not just in North America, but in the world. They're the biggest ones in the world. They're also $5 billion in debt because, they spent the time. AMC Theaters understands how important the theatrical movie-going experience is. They understand this. They spent the time to revamp their theaters, to improve their product, to make things awesome, reclinable seats, 4K screens, Dolby surround sound, not in every single cinema, but, they've taken the time to improve their theater going experience. Yes, ticket prices have gone up. Yes, they've also introduced AMC A-List, which it started turning a profit before COVID hit. A little profit, but it started turning a profit. In which, for the consumer, if you're like me, if you go to see more than one movie a month, totally worth it. Totally worth it. In New York City, AMC A-List was, I think it was what, $25 a month? I think it was $25 a month. You got to see 3 movies a week. Any movie you wanted, up to 3 movies a week. You could see the same movie over and over and over again. You could see whatever you wanted. 3 movies a week for $25. That's a great deal. That's an incredible deal. Awesome. So yes, movie theaters, there will be certain chains that just go away and will not recover. Other theaters, I think it's very likely that AMC theaters will file for bankruptcy. That they will have to file for Chapter 7, not Chapter 11. I think they will file for Chapter 7, which means they're done. If they file for Chapter 7, they sell off all of their property. The courts come in and they look at all of their finances, all of their assets, everything. And then they sell off systematically everything to try and, not just turn a profit, but they essentially will be out of business. And whoever buys up these other properties, these other theaters, maybe they'll convert them into their own theater. Maybe they will convert them into storefronts. Maybe they will convert them into parking lots. Who knows? But I think that's what AMC Theaters is going to do. In fact, if you look at the stock market of what happened with AMC Theaters stock the day The hour that Warner Media announced dropping all of their movies on HBO Max, that very same hour on the stock market, in the stock market, the stock for AMC theaters plummeted that same hour. Coincidence? Oh yeah. Or rather, no, not a coincidence. I think this was directly related. There's no other way to see that. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on here. But let's go back to the original question: what and whom does this affect? So yes, movie theaters are drastically going to be affected by this. We're going to see a huge decrease in theaters across the United States, and yes, across the world, because multiple theater chains will have to close because they won't be able to sustain themselves. They just won't. They're not going to get the same amount of people coming to theaters because you can stay home and watch this on HBO Max for 30 days. You can watch you can watch Wonder Woman 31 days in a row if you really wanted to. I doubt many people are going to do that, but hey, who knows? Maybe somebody will. You can watch Tom and Jerry. Children will probably want to watch the Tom and Jerry movie every single day for a month, right? Hopefully they get sick of it after a month. Who knows? And if you really, really want to go see it again after it's been taken off of HBO Max, after its 31-day run on HBO Max, you can still go to the movie theater and see it, providing if there's a movie theater within your area for you to go check it out and see it, right? But there's more people that this affects than just the movie theaters. Here, let me pull this up. Where is my web browser? Okay. So over on Forbes, I was looking to see what is going on specifically with HBO Max and the UK. I mean, HBO, there's a lot of countries that HBO Max has not released yet. Or rather, the service has not been released in yet. The UK is one of them. HBO currently has a deal with Sky Television, or the Sky service, to show HBO releases on the Sky platform. It's being theorized that just kind of in a similar format of what Disney did with Mulan for a premium service. Oh, you want to watch Mulan? Well, first of all, you have to be a Disney Plus subscriber, and you also have to pay a premium. So it's being theorized that there may be a premium service for our friends over in the UK. Matthew Wiles, I know you're watching right now, so this is directed at you, sir. There's a possibility that, well, hold on. Let's jump into the article for a second. Let's see. Warner Brothers, keep in mind, this is Forbes. This is not some trashy news outlet. This is Forbes magazine. Warner Brothers announced blah, 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 blah. This is a great blow to movie theaters already struggling for an almost a year of on and off closures due to the pandemic. But how would this work in countries outside of the U.S., like, for example, the U.K., where the streaming platform HBO Max is not available? Furthermore, what does this mean for the theatrical window that has shaped film releases for decades, protecting cinema theaters? Well, to answer that second part, it doesn't matter anymore. But let's go back to the first part. After suffering through delays of major blockbusters this year, the news that Warner Brothers plans to release all of its 2021 films in theaters and on its streaming platform on the same day must feel devastating for the theaters. True. Toby Emmerich, Warner Brothers group chairman, told The Hollywood Reporter, quote, "It allows us to do a global release and a national release in what we think is going to be a checkerboard theatrical marketplace for the bulk of 2021. We think where theaters are open and consumers can go, that a lot of people will choose to go to the theater, especially for big movies." To which I say, hold on. Where am I? There I am. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. And I'll tell you why. Two reasons. One, people just don't feel safe going to the theaters anymore. People don't, and when I say people, I don't mean literally everyone. I feel safe going to the theaters. I've been 4 times already. I love it. I cherish it. If you can do it and do it safely, go for it. I feel that I can do it safely. I feel that I have done it safely. I feel that we have not gone to the movie theaters willy-nilly, blindly. I want to go see this movie and nothing's going to get in my way. No. We did an extensive amount of research before we went back to the movie theaters. I bring my own bottles of alcohol. When I say bottles of alcohol, I have 2 different types of spray bottles. I have the pump spray like this, and then also the pump spray like this, right? So I just coat everything in alcohol. I wipe it all down. Our seats and the seats next to us. I wipe everything down, including inside of the cup holder. I wipe everything down. I feel that I've done a decent enough job, a good enough job. Not everybody shares that same sentiment. Not everybody feels the same way about this that I do. And that's fine. So for the chairman of Warner Brothers to come out and say, we think where theaters are open and consumers can go, that a lot of people will choose to go to the theater, especially for big movies. No, they won't. No, they won't. They just won't. Because like I said, a lot of people don't feel safe. 2, why go to the movie theater when you have it streaming in your house? For the bulk majority of theater goers, people just want to see the movie. People do not, in a general sense, people do not cherish the theater going experience the same way that I do. Maybe the same way that you do. People, and when I say people, I just mean like the general sense of people. People just want to see the movie, and if they can see it at home, that's good enough for them. I care about the theater going experience. I want the glitz. The scene in the movie Annie when she gets to go to the movies for the first time with Daddy Warbucks and the whole cast of characters and Sandy the dog is there and just kind of running down the aisles and everyone's like, why is there a dog in a movie theater? And there's people dancing and everyone's dressed to the nines in like these incredible black tie ball gowns and red velvet curtains and like with gold trim and people with flashlights like showing you to your seat. It was that even though I understand in 2020 going to the movie theater, or even 2019, in 2019 going to the movie theater did not look like how it does in the movie Annie, but in my mind it does. That's what I believe. That is the fantasy that I live in when I go to the movie theaters. It's this incredibly glamorous, rich, it doesn't matter if it's packed or if it's empty. It's this experience where you get sound coming from all directions. You're laid out in a seat with your bucket of popcorn and a beautiful screen up in front of you. Doesn't matter if it's a good story or a bad story. It doesn't matter. It matters the movie that you're watching. But in terms of the experience, it doesn't matter about the movie that you're watching because you're having this experience. If it's a terrible movie, okay, but you're having this experience. And usually it's with other people, right? I mean, I go to the movie theater by myself all the time. And when I say all the time, of course, I mean 2019 and earlier. I used to go all the time by myself. But I also would arrange big groups to go. Like when a big release is coming, like the latest Harry Potter movie. Or when Avengers Endgame came out. We went down to Orlando to pick up a friend of mine who was on a cruise ship. She just finished working and living on a cruise ship. We drove down to Miami. We picked her up. We drove back to Orlando. We met other friends of ours in Orlando, and we went to the AMC theaters at downtown Disney. Which, if you're not familiar with downtown Disney, it's just Disney Springs is what it's called now, but it used to be called downtown Disney. So we went to Disney Springs, AMC theaters, all the nines, the IMAX, the Dolby Theater, great seats, huge group of people. We did the premiere. They had a red carpet. We got our photo taken. It was an experience. It was an experience. It was beautiful. It was magical. It was fun. We got to be a part of this thing. Not just as bigger than ourselves, but it's a collective thing. I went to a premiere of Avengers Endgame. It wasn't the premiere, sorry. But like, I went opening night to Avengers Endgame. Where were you? Where were you when Avengers Endgame came out? I remember that. I remember sitting in the theater feeling those feelings. I remember the day after being in the Disney parks, talking about this movie with all of our friends. We were all there together. We all went from park to park to park to park to park. And we were talking about Avengers Endgame all day. I remember this. I guarantee you, when Dune comes out on HBO Max, when Wonder Woman 1984 comes out on HBO Max, when Tom and Jerry comes out on HBO Max, Suicide Squad, nobody's going to be talking about their experience the day after. Yeah, we're all going to debate the movie and we're going to pick it apart. We're going to say, oh, I like this part. I don't like that part. Oh, I wish they would have done this differently. Like, yeah, that kind of stuff we're still going to be talking about. But we're not going to engage with each other the same way we used to. We're not going to have these passionate moments because the experience just won't be there. I mean, it will still be there for a while. Movie theaters will not completely go away, but it will not be the new normal. It just won't. That, I think, is devastating. Okay, so we got way off topic. I got way off topic here. How does this affect people in the UK? Let's go back to the article here, right? At the moment, the streaming platform HBO Max is not available in every country across the globe. Each country also has different rules regarding the theatrical window, France being one of the strictest, So how will this affect countries outside of the US, in particular the UK? According to the head of HBO Max Global, Andy Forsell, HBO Max will be available in Europe and Latin America by the second half of 2021. Cool. Okay. Awesome. Aiming to launch HBO Max in 190 countries. Great. But here's the not so great news. In the UK, however, HBO content is available through Comcast-backed pay TV operator Sky. It thus seems unlikely HBO Max will be launched in the UK. And then it goes on to say, like, the exclusivity deal between Sky and HBO Max and partnership and blah, blah, blah. Like, they have a 5-year contract. They have a 5-year thing here going on. So I don't see... Oh, man, I mean, it's possible. It's possible. Again, things that were impossible yesterday suddenly become possible today. So is it possible that Warner Media, HBO, and Sky will reach a new agreement in the near future? Yeah, it's possible. It's very possible, actually. Because look at this situation. 17, like their entire slate, their entire 2021 slate being released on HBO Max is mammoth. Mammoth, you guys. Oh, man. So, for right now, it's unlikely. It's unlikely. You can still go to the movie theaters if you feel safe, if you feel that you can do it safely. If you don't feel that you can do it safely, the article goes on to say that there's a possibility that you may still be able to pay-per-view these movies. Possible. Who knows, though? Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, click like. If you really like this video, click subscribe. And if you really, really like this video, click share. Because that is exactly what Michelangelo from the Ninja Turtles would want you to do. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.